The movie begins with Sion, who writes down everything that happened during her day before going to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up unable to remember anything. We learn that she was involved in an accident that caused her to develop a condition called anterograde amnesia. Because of this, Sion has to read all the notes she wrote the previous day just to remember who she is and what happened to her. In other words, her memory only lasts for one day. Every time she goes to sleep, she wakes up having forgotten everything. Only her mother, father, and her friend June know about her condition. Sion gets ready for school and takes the bus. We see that all the boys at school have a crush on her, but she doesn't talk to anyone. Suddenly, the bus brakes hard, and before Sion falls to the ground, her classmate Kim saves her in a rather strange way by quickly grabbing her by the hair. Sion looks at him in surprise, so Kim apologizes and says, "I didn't mean to do it." We learn that Kim is a quiet and handsome guy who doesn't have any friends. When Kim enters the classroom, he finds his classmate Dong wiping his desk after the bullies had spilled juice all over it. Kim gets angry and approaches the bullies, asking them what they want from Dong. One of them tells Kim that if he asks Sion out on a date, they will stop bothering Dong.
Kim agrees because he's confident that Sion will reject him just like she has rejected many other guys before.
But surprisingly, when Kim asks Sion to go out with him, she agrees. That's because she wants to experience something new. Sion sets 3 rules for their relationship. First, they shouldn't talk to each other too much. Second, none of their classmates should know that they're dating. And third, neither of them is allowed to genuinely fall in love with the other. Kim is shocked by what she says, but he agrees because he's single too and has never been in a relationship before. After school, they go out together, and Sion keeps asking him questions. Every time Kim answers, she writes his answer down. Kim becomes curious and asks her why she's doing that. She tells him that they're in a relationship now and she wants to know everything about him. She asks what he likes, what he hates, his favorite food, and his favorite sport. Kim tells her that he doesn't like exercising. Sion finds that strange and asks him why. He stays quiet for a moment before telling her that he's afraid of sweating. Sion assumes that he's obsessed with cleanliness, not knowing that Kim was born with a chronic heart condition and isn't allowed to do anything physically strenuous. They spend a happy day together, while Kim remains completely unaware of her illness. Eventually, they both return home. We learn that Kim lives alone with his father because his mother died 5 years ago. The next day, they go to school. Kim waits for Sion to come and talk to him, but she doesn't speak to him at all throughout the day. At the end of the day, however, he finds her waiting outside the school. She asks him where they're going today, so Kim takes her to an arcade. They spend the day playing games and then have lunch together. Sion is incredibly happy. When she returns home, she writes everything they did in her diary so that she can remember Kim the next morning. They continue meeting every day after school. June doesn't like this and asks Kim to stay away from Sion, but Kim tells her to mind her own business. Soon, Kim and Sion start spending time together at school as well. Sion even draws a picture of Kim and enjoys every moment she spends with him. In her diary, she writes that she has started enjoying waking up every morning because she's confident that Kim will make her day a good one. One day, Kim is cleaning the school field when he suddenly finds a group of bullies surrounding a student and beating him. Kim steps in to defend the student, but there are too many bullies, and they're about to attack Kim as well. At that moment, Sion threatens them and tells them that she recorded everything and will send the video to the police, which could get them arrested. The bullies become frightened and leave. Kim takes the student with him and gets to know him. His name is Park. We also learn that Park actually has a crush on June, Sion's best friend. Later, Kim returns home and prepares the foods his mother used to love. He sits down with his father, and Kim asks him to move on from his mother's death and start living his own life again. But it's obvious that his father still hasn't accepted his wife's death or Kim's illness. The next day, Kim asks Sion to go somewhere with him for the weekend. He tells her that he's taking her to a place he really loves. They meet, and Kim prepares some food for her. Then he takes her to a hill overlooking a lake. He tells her that he has many memories connected to this place. They talk together and gradually become closer and closer. At the end of the day, Sion falls asleep on Kim's shoulder. But the next morning, everything changes. When Sion wakes up, she's terrified. She has no idea where she is or who the person beside her is. She looks at Kim in fear and asks, "Who are you?" Kim notices how frightened she is. Sion quickly gets off the bus, and Kim runs after her. At first, he thinks she's joking and asks her what's wrong, but she's genuinely terrified. She tells him that she doesn't remember who he is and quickly walks away. Then she calls June and tells her what happened. June calms her down and tells her to go back home. Meanwhile, Kim stands there completely shocked, unable to believe what's happening. Then June calls him and explains Sion's condition. Sion returns home and reads all the notes she wrote about Kim. She also reads her diary and discovers how close the two of them had become. She realizes that she has feelings for him, but her own memory has betrayed her. She feels a deep pain in her heart because she feels like something is missing from her life. So she decides to go back and meet Kim. When they meet, Kim tells her that he doesn't know much about her illness, but he does know that he loves spending time with her and wants to make her happy. They agree that Sion won't write anything about the fact that Kim discovered her condition, and they will continue their relationship as if he doesn't know anything. Sion agrees. The next day, Kim meets June and thanks her for telling him the truth. He tells her that he loves Sion and doesn't want anything from life except to make her happy. June tells him to take good care of Sion and never think about hurting her. Afterward, Kim returns home and tells his father that he's dating a girl he loves. His father becomes happy because, for the first time, it feels like Kim is finally starting to live a normal life. The following day, Kim and Sion meet up with Park and June. The four of them decide to go on a double date. They ride bicycles together and later visit an aquarium. Sion keeps taking pictures of Kim, and it's obvious that she's starting to fall deeply in love with him. She excitedly tells everyone that she's always wanted to see a penguin. But when they arrive at the penguin exhibit, they discover that the hall is closed. Sion becomes disappointed. Later, she walks along the beach with Kim and tells him how much fun she had with him. They play together in the water, and Kim even teaches her how to tie her shoelaces. Suddenly, Sion becomes sad. She knows that when she wakes up tomorrow, she will forget everything again. The next day, Sion wakes up having forgotten all the beautiful memories they shared. But Kim reassures her, telling her that he will always stay by her side and make sure that every day she experiences memories even more beautiful than the day before. The following day, Kim decides to surprise her. He puts on a penguin costume and starts jumping around in front of her. Sion becomes incredibly happy the moment she sees him. She takes out her phone, takes pictures with him, and even dances with him. At that moment, she realizes that Kim would do absolutely anything just to make her happy. When she gets home, Sion writes down everything that happened during her day. She is happier than ever, but the one thing that makes her sad is knowing that when she wakes up the next morning, she will forget everything that happened that day. The next day, Kim decides to take her to his father's studio. We learn that Kim's father was a famous photographer and an artist who worked with glass. As soon as they enter the studio, they are amazed by all the beautiful artwork on display. It turns out that Ji-won is one of Kim's father's biggest fans. While they are there, Kim creates a special pendant for Sion as a gift. That night, his father tells him that Sion is a wonderful girl and that he clearly has good taste. He also says that if Kim's mother were still alive, she would be incredibly happy to hear that he was in a relationship. Kim spends the whole night holding pictures of his mother and staring at them. The next day at school, he meets Sion, who tells him that lately she has stopped wanting to sleep because she is afraid of forgetting all her memories. Of course, this is also affecting her health, so Kim tells her that he will talk to her about it. It is obvious that Sion is extremely exhausted because she has not slept for 2 days. Kim searches online to learn more about her condition and whether there is any treatment. He is shocked to discover that her illness has no real cure and that the chances of recovery are very low. However, he discovers that some patients have shown improvement through simple memory exercises, where they try to remember even the smallest details from the memories they experienced the previous day. The next day, Kim meets Sion and takes her for a walk by the sea. He tells her that he has a surprise for her and gives her the pendant he made. He then discovers that Sion has made a pendant for him too. When Kim notices that she looks upset, he asks her what's wrong. Sion tells him that she is sad because she knows she will forget every memory they make together, no matter how beautiful it is. Kim reassures her that she isn't truly losing the memories forever. They are only disappearing temporarily, and if she makes an effort, she might be able to remember them again. He tells her that memories are like skills. Even if the mind forgets them, the body can still remember. For example, he tells her that she knows how to draw. Sion listens to him and tries drawing, only to discover that she really can draw, even though she had forgotten that ability. From then on, she begins practicing these memory exercises and trying to remind herself of small details from her days. One day, Kim takes her on a cable car ride. Sion tells him that she wants to attend the fireworks festival, so Kim promises that he will take her. That night, Kim, Sion, Jiwon, and Park all meet at the festival. They try all kinds of food together, and afterward, Jiwon and Park decide to leave the two of them alone. Kim takes Sion onto a boat and holds her hand as the fireworks begin. He gets closer to her and promises that no matter how much time passes, he will always love her, and even if her mind forgets him, he will remain somewhere deep inside her heart. A year later, Sion wakes up as usual, but Kim is no longer part of her life, and there is no trace of him anywhere. She goes to school as usual and spends time with Jiwon and Park. When the school day ends, she goes to the doctor while listening to Kim's favorite song. She even ties her shoelaces the way Kim taught her without realizing where she learned it. Sion has completely forgotten Kim himself. The doctor reassures her that her condition has gradually started improving and that the memory exercises she has been practicing have helped her tremendously. Even so, Sion still feels that something is wrong. She feels like she has forgotten something extremely important, especially because she keeps drawing pictures of the same young man without remembering who he is or what his name was. She tells Jiwon about the mysterious boy she keeps drawing. Jiwon listens to her, becomes emotional, and tells her that hopefully she will remember him someday. Then we learn the heartbreaking truth. Kim has died. Before his death, Kim met Jiwon and told her that he had a serious heart condition and that his condition had gotten worse. He didn't know when he would die, so he asked Jiwon that if he died, she should erase him from Sion's life because he didn't want Sion to spend the rest of her life grieving over his absence. And so, when Kim eventually dies, Jiwon decides to fulfill his final wish. She hides all the notes Seon had written about Kim. She replaces Seon's phone, which contains all their pictures, with another phone. She removes his name from Seon's diary, making Kim disappear from her life as if he had never existed. Jiwon gathers everything connected to Kim and puts it all into a box because she plans to tell Seon the truth someday. The next morning, Seon wakes up without remembering anything about her boyfriend, Kim. In her case, forgetting him becomes a painful kind of blessing because it protects her from the unbearable grief of losing him. But as the days pass, Seon continues wondering about the mysterious person she keeps drawing. Eventually, Jiwon decides that it is time to tell her the truth. She brings out the box containing Seon's memories and tells her that the man in all those drawings is Kim and that he was her boyfriend. Seon is completely shocked. She suddenly remembers the first time she met Kim, back when they were in the hospital. She remembers being fascinated by his name and writing it down on a piece of paper. She goes through all the memories they shared and begins crying because she cannot remember the person she once loved so deeply, even though her hands still remember him enough to draw his face. Afterward, Seon goes to visit Kim's father, who has decided to move away. He tells her that Kim left a gift for her before he died. He gives her the pendant Kim had made for her, and she realizes that Kim had kept the pendant she made for him as well. Kim's father advises her to overcome her grief and continue living her life. He tells her that Seon's smile was the one thing that could always make Kim happy. In the end, Seon visits all the places where she and Kim once made memories together. She cries over the loss of the person she loved and remembers the precious moments they shared. And even though her memory could no longer hold him, her hair and even her hands never truly forgot him. See you in the next video.